So if you clicked on this video, it's probably because you've not seen any of these endings, like ya boy. What's up? I'm back. It's Dynasty with another Mortal Kombat 1 MK video. The only ending I've seen in Mortal Kombat 1 in terms of like arcade ladder endings is Havoc's, which we showcased in my video from yesterday. However, after finding out, courtesy of Dominic Ciancillo, the story writer of Mortal Kombat 1, that all these endings seemingly are canon, and they could probably tie into Mortal Kombat 13, MK2, I want to watch them. So that's what we'll be doing today. Drop a like if you're stoked to see these endings with ya boy. And without further ado, let us hopefully not get demonetized and age restricted, because I'm sure there's going to be some blood and gore in this, but did I say that? YouTube, what? Yeah, you'd be surprised. Even with like the art style, YouTube still flags this stuff as bad. But regardless, I love you guys. Thank you for always coming back and watching. And we got 30 minutes of endings to react to. Here goes nothing. First things first, here's Kitana's.
General Shao's revolt left Outworld's armies in tatters. We were vulnerable to enemies both foreign and domestic. That's why my sister asked me to take command.
Okay.
To stitch her military back together and purge Shao's loyalists within it.
Okay.
She trusted only me with the task.
Sister, save us!
The soldiers, however, had little faith. They thought me a spoiled dilettante, unprepared and unfit to serve.
Damn.
That I could fight mattered little. All that mattered was that I wasn't one of them.
They want Mileena.
I finally earned their loyalty by orchestrating an epic victory over Shao and his rebels. Though the general himself escaped, his forces were smashed. For as long as I am able, I will lead the Empress's armies in defense of Outworld. Through strength, we will achieve peace.
So essentially, she stops the whole civil war from taking place. She defeats all the loyalists to Shao, but he still survives. That's kind of lame. That's a pretty lame ending, but it's canon. I would have wanted more for Kitana, honestly. No mention of Liu Kang anywhere. Straight up, just like, my sister needed help during this Outworld civil war, and I stepped up to the plate, convinced them that I'm worthy of following, and we got rid of Shao's homies. But we didn't get Shao! So Shao is still alive and out there for MK2, MK13. It's gonna be a mind fuck having to say Mortal Kombat 2. Will they call it MK2? We'll see. Alright, next up, Mileena.
Though worried about how the public might react, I met with Baraka to discuss his Tarkatans. Speaking from his heart, he moved me.
Aww.
I agreed to visit his colony and see how his people lived. The conditions were atrocious.
Help him out!
This was one of my mother's few mistakes. Like all Outworlders, she treated Tarkatans with scorn.
Oh, wow.
What they deserved from us was compassion.
Wow.
And the only way to get it for them...
What a shot.
...was to reveal my affliction. To show all my subjects that even an empress could get Tarkat.
What a real one.
The scandal my revelation caused was intense. But with the help of Kitana and Tanya, I emerged from it a stronger empress than ever. My honesty, empathy, and resolve won over my remaining doubters. There is no longer any question that I am fit to lead the Empire.
This is a great ending. What a great fucking ending. The fact that she can be like, yo, I understand. My mom's hated y'all. You infected, but yo, I'm infected myself, and I'm still princess, or I guess queen now of Outworld. Khan, rather. Wow, dude, and she won over the entire, the people. That's a pretty sick ending. She's proving her worth as a real queen of this realm, and I agree. She did. With her bringing together the infected with the regular uninfected people, and putting that native connotation aside, that is very queen-like. So, yes, queen! I did it. Drop a like for me saying that. Tanya!
Until recently, I hadn't met Li Mei, but I had heard the stories. How the Umgadi's matron superior blamed her for not preventing Emperor Jared's murder. How she quit in disgrace rather than accept punishment. But those stories didn't fit the woman I now knew. Li Mei would never have been so negligent. Eventually, I uncovered the truth. The failures and mistakes which led to the Emperor's murder, they resulted from poor decisions made by the matron superior themselves. They made Li Mei their scapegoat. When the Empress found out, she wanted the Umgadi disbanded. But I convinced her that it could be reformed. To make sure it did, she put me in charge. I am humbled by this sacred responsibility. The Umgadi, my sisters, they are my life. I will not let them be brought down by the acts of a selfish few.
So Tanya ends up being in charge of the entire Umgadi, and we find out that Li Mei was set up by other members of the Umgadi. The death of Jared was actually not on her hands. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. I see you. I see you.
To the capture by Empress Mileena, I joined Havoc's crusade in Saido. There, I summoned more magic than I thought possible.
Okay. We saw this yesterday.
And drowned out the old regime. Havoc's longed-for anarchy had been achieved. He was more than satisfied. But I was left empty and broken. Had I been satisfied as Outworld's High Mage, not let myself be tempted by Shang Tsung, a great city would not now lay in ruins. I've caused devastation, ended thousands of lives, all because of my blind ambition.
Yeah? You drowned some people.
I betrayed my oath, my sovereign, and my realm. These high crimes merit punishment, and I'll accept whatever the Empress gives me. My only ambition now is to one day be forgiven.
Wow. So Rain comes full circle, apparently. Do we believe him? I don't necessarily believe him. For some reason, I feel like he's still a little sneaky snake. And does he really? Is he really sorry about this stuff? Homeboy just caused a tsunami and killed all of Sado. Not to mention he worked with Shangy Wangi in this timeline, main story. And now he's just reflecting like, I was a bad man. I hope I can get out of prison, as is to be expected. After he commits the crimes, he feels bad. So, Rain may or may not be imprisoned in the next game, I guess. That could be the excuse to not feature him. He's just in jail for his punishment. I don't know what this means for the character, but him backing out, kind of depressing. I kind of was liking the Wizard of Rain with no remorse. Shang Tsung.
After escaping Lei Chin prison, I was hounded by the Imperial Police. I needed a place to hide and to recuperate while I plotted the best way forward. I knew the remote canton of my youth would be perfect. To escape capture, I traveled by sea. Little did I know that a gargantuan storm was brewing.
Bro, this looks
My
sick.
tiny craft was smashed apart. I closed my eyes, waiting to drown.
Wow.
Hoping that the Netherrealm wouldn't claim
Instead, a
my
sea monster
soul.
grabbed me.
But when I reopened them, I found myself not in hell, but on a deserted island. From its ruins, I could tell that great sorcerers had once lived there.
Oh no.
In the
No
caves
way!
beneath the ruins, I found what I can only describe
No way!
as a well of souls. Once I learn how to wield its power,
Damn
I
it.
will become invincible.
Damn it. So essentially, Shang Tsung finds Shang Tsung's island, and it just gives him a whole collection of souls that apparently just happen to be there waiting for him. So now we know Shang Tsung's just chilling on an island like he usually does, probably to host the next Mortal Kombat tournament. So continuity, it's still there. Shangy Wangy on an island. Wilson! General Shao.
The battle has been lost, but the war isn't over. I won't stop fighting until I take Outworld's throne. That they thought Lei Chin Prison would hold me is laughable. Once free, I began planning my next campaign. I would need an unstoppable army to overthrow Mileena. Unfortunately, most of my former soldiers lacked the courage to rally to my standard. Rebuilding my army would require finding new recruits. And that task is proving easier than expected. Outworld's golden age has left more than a few behind. Without hope, without power, they eagerly heed my call to tear down Mileena's government.
Okay, well, we know Reiko is still second in command here, at least. Homeboy breaks out and is looking to find new recruits to help him take over Outworld still. So he breaks out of prison like El Chapo, finds Reiko, seemingly first in command still, and now he's after revenge. Shang Tsung on an island. General Shao recruiting people for his own new army. Again, continuity. Many things change. Many things stay the same. Time for Sindel.
As the darkness enveloped me, I took a long last look at my family.
Okay, what happens after she dies?
I did not expect to see them again until their souls
the soul got
joined
grabbed right by
mine
Ermac.
in the living forest. But miraculously, my beloved husband delivered me from oblivion. Though he couldn't save my body, Jared had preserved my soul. Like him and countless others, I am now a part of Ermac. Yet ours is not a peaceful repose. The collected souls within Ermac have their own needs and agendas. Before we can speak as one, we must first reach consensus. I had thought, as the former rulers of Outworld, I and Jared would hold sway. But here we are, two souls among many thousands, fighting for the right to be heard. And if there is one thing we do well together, it is fight. We will win the right to govern Ermac as we once had governed Outworld. And we will rule for the benefit of all.
Dude, based ending. Based ending. They still find each other hidden in Ermac's vessel. So in Ermac, King Jared and Sindel are just fighting these other souls, trying to take charge of this vessel and lead for the betterment of everybody. That is crazy. So she goes from being the queen of Outworld to being the queen of Ermac with her husband. Dude. These are some based fucking endings, which means her soul could definitely be brought back in the next game. Just like we saw Jared's soul being primarily the winner, I guess. I guess his soul was stronger than the other souls. That's how he was like talking throughout the second half of the campaign. Sindel will be talking through Jared's voice, apparently, soon. That's crazy. That is a crazy fucking ending, and I love it so much. Better love story than Twilight. Reiko!
With General Shao freed from prison, we began raising a new army against the royal family.
Okay.
Though many were eager recruits, few were good at soldiering. It was so bad, the general was forced to change tactics. He decided that we needed a doomsday weapon.
A nuke?!
That weapon isn't a thing, though. It is a monster. Onaga, the Dragon King. The general told me the old legends were true. that his ancient ancestor defeated Onaga, trapping him deep inside Mount Sogan. The Dragon King is still there today, his pent-up fury waiting to be unleashed. Because Onaga is so dangerous, the General wouldn't risk trying to tame him before. But now, he feels we have no choice. Though I likely won't survive, I accept this mission gladly. I can think of no greater honor than to give my life in the General's service.
What? Dude! Look at Shao's ancestor right here. I'm assuming this is Shao, and this is Shao. This is his ancestor. This is maybe Shao's dad. I think this is just regular General Shao. Dude, and he's alive, and he's just captured here, being held back by chains. And the fact that Reiko is leading the push and the cause here, he's going to sacrifice himself to make sure we can tame and domesticate the Dragon King. General Shao's plan is to fucking bring us the Dragon King. What? I could cry right now. Dude, I know how bad we all wanted the Dragon King in this game. I know how bad we all wanted it, but if Mortal Kombat 12, MK2 in the next, 5-6 years comes out, and that is like the send-off for Boone before he goes into retirement, dude, I will literally be so happy. Can you imagine the technology in 5-6 years to give us the Dragon King? Dude. This is essentially the Mortal Kombat 12 story mode. Dude, this is crazy. Or 13 story mode. This is crazy. This is crazy. He's still alive. What the fuck? Smoke!
Kuai Liang and I were working hard to build our new clan. But even with the help of his close friend Harumi, it was difficult. The biggest problem was finding the right initiates. Then, one night, while walking outside Harumi's compound, I was attacked. I thought at first it was a Lin Kuei assassin, but his strikes were too uncertain, too angry. My attacker, it turns out, was a boy. Homeless and hungry, his assault was born of desperation. He needed money so that he could eat.
Who is this?
It was like looking at myself 15 years ago. I would have ended up just like him if the Lin Kuei hadn't taken me in.
Takeda?
So I took the boy to Kuai Liang, who also appreciated his fire. We made him our first initiate.
Who is this?
The boy's name? Hanzo Hasashi.
What the fuck? What? What? Dude! I'm just saying, Kuai Liang goes back to throwing ice in the next game. Bihan gets killed, becomes Noob. And then Hanzo fights like Scorpion of old. And then there you go. Problem solved. That's how we fixed the issue of Kuai Liang being Scorpion and fighting like Scorpion. There you go. Kuai Liang goes back to differentiate himself from Hanzo, and he starts throwing ice again. Holy shit, dude. What the fuck? Dragon King? Hanzo? Bro!
No sooner had Titan Shang Tsung been defeated than Bihan and his loyalists hunted us down. Outnumbered, we fled to Japan. There, we sought refuge from an old family friend.
Going back to the old roots, I see.
As children, we played together. But Shirai
was back!
Now, the head of her clan. Her strength, beauty, and intellect awed me. Also incensed by Bihan's betrayal, Harumi agreed to help me forge a new clan.
I like this.
One that would stand against him and defend Earthrealm. Her aid proved invaluable. And as time went on, we grew closer.
They had a baby!
To honor Harumi and pay respects to my new bride, I named the clan after her, calling it the Shirai Ryu. Now the battle against my brother begins in earnest. The Shirai Ryu won't rest until Bihan is defeated and the Lin Kuei's honor restored.
Now that is a crazy ending. So the Shirai Ryu is named after Scorpion's wife, and the whole arc here is brotherly love gone bad. So I like it. I'm looking forward to seeing how this unfolds in the next game. Harumi hopefully is a character in the next Mortal Kombat game, because she's getting a lot of screen time these days. Hanzo Hasashi is going to get jealous. Hanzo's right here. Look at baby Hanzo. Little does he know, this is supposed to be his wife. It's Mortal Kombat and their multiverses, man. What a weird change of events. So yeah, there's Scorpion's ending at MK1. I like it. Sub-Zero.
I had broken the Lin Kuei free of Liu Kang's enslavement. We were now masters of our destiny.
He did
and
it.
Could take our place among Earthrealm's great nations. But taking and holding territory would require a vast army. I needed more fighters to make
Does he
our
recruit Frost or
presence
something?
felt. Then I recalled Shang Tsung's dragon warriors.
Damn
An
it.
army of them would be unstoppable. But trafficking in such strong magic would surely draw Liu Kang's attention.
Wow, Sector.
Sector advised that we avoid detection by building our army using science, not sorcery. We've invested much into this endeavor, and we are beginning to see results. Once again proving the depths of Sector's genius. When we are done, all of Earthrealm will honor our desires and heed our demands. If not, they will face the Lin Kuei's wrath.
So this essentially sets up the Cyber Initiative for the next game. Sector confirmed, part of the Lin Kuei. No-brainer. Cyrax's probably in there too. And yeah, that is indeed a cybernetic ninja being worked on right here. Is this Sector right here? Or is it just like a random Lin Kuei? Who knows, but here it is. The Cyber Lin Kuei coming soon to a game near you. Damn. That's how they're going to, I guess, counteract the Shirai Ryu if they're robots. That's one way to bring them back. Well, at least you got to wait that long to see the Cyber Initiative in the next Mortal Kombat game, it seems. So, yeah, interesting. It's a good ending. Reptile.
After fleeing Outworld, I hadn't expected to return. But then I also hadn't expected the new Empress to make me an offer I couldn't refuse. To thank me for helping stop General Shao's rebellion, she asked me to be her emissary to the Zaterrans.
That's awesome.
Going
Wow.
bearing the seal of the royal house, I would show, once and for all, that my mutation wasn't to be feared. That it wasn't a source of shame. To my surprise, I was welcomed. But those warm smiles hid
Why?
a dark secret.
What dark secret?
I stumbled upon a trove of official records, which showed that my shape-shifting ability isn't unique. Many Zaterrans are born with it, but are killed by their government to keep it from spreading. Who started this barbaric policy? Who is now enforcing it is unknown. But I will find out. And I will put an end to this madness.
Okay, so we already knew there was other Zaterrans who shapeshift. I mean, I don't know if Chameleon's technically a Zaterran, either or version of Chameleon. I think so, right? I think. So not really a shocker here, knowing they can go invisible and become a human, per se. But somebody is tracking down these Zaterrans who can shapeshift and killing them. Who could it be? In the comments, let me know who you think is up to this. I don't know who it could be. No idea. It is awesome seeing Reptile get the respect he deserves, and obviously helping his people out. Being in the good graces of, Outworld is probably a good thing. Having the Zaterrans in their corner, and, Reptile is showing that, hey, I could just be this guy who becomes a reptile and also a human. It's not a big deal. It's pretty wholesome, so I'm glad. It's kind of a happy ending. We leave on a downer note, not knowing who's tracking down Zaterrans who can shapeshift, but hopefully that means he doesn't die in the next game. Is it Aaron Black? D'Vorah!
Were it not for my godly counterpart, I would not have survived the battle against Titan Shang Tsung. Meeting him, though, raised questions. Why did I replace him in this new era? Why was I made mortal? Lord Liu Kang told me of his Raiden's nobility and righteousness, about his steadfast leadership in the defense of Earthrealm.
Yep.
He also told me about Raiden's dark side, how he could be consumed by rage and cast aside the rules he otherwise lived by. Making me mortal and incapable of such anger was to keep me from following in his footsteps.
Or is it?
Though I understood the reasons why, I felt I had been done a disservice.
You see?
To survive the coming battles, I may need the edge that only great rage can bring. As the Shaolin couldn't aid me, I sought out someone who could. Someone to stoke the fire within me and teach me to master it. For this, I could have no better teacher than the Shirai Ryu's Grand Master.
No. No. We do not need Earthrealm's champion becoming Dark Raiden. However, possibility because he now knows how to be angry. How angry we haven't seen yet, but he's got that edge to him because of fucking Scorpion. Oh, man. Next up is Liu Kang.
My loyal partner had warned me. Reclaiming my power as Keeper of Time might have unforeseen consequences. In this, as in most things, he proved prescient. The process I had undergone did irreparable harm to my body. Taking back my power had cost me my immortality. While my lifespan would still stretch across eons, I would one day perish. And if the war with Titan Shang Tsung taught me anything, it is that this timeline is not safe without a protector. Yet I had never given thought to choosing a successor. Who is it that could replace me
Kung Lao?
and protect my new era? The answer, of course, is Geras.
Geras.
Tireless and meticulous, he is perfectly suited to be entrusted with this grave duty. And no one knows better the temptations of the hourglass. I have no doubt he will be above them.
Wow. Geras being handed that role potentially in the future if shit goes bad and Liu Kang dies would be so fucking crazy. He's such a bro in the story for MK1. And to know that him and Liu Kang have that trust, and we see it on display, you know, it's like chapter, 10, where we see Geras explain why he didn't tell Liu Kang of the ability to, I'm not going to spoil everything, but you know what I'm talking about, until they really needed it. Geras is such a bro, and initially, man, I wasn't sure if we could trust Geras, and I'm still kind of iffy on that, but by all accounts, it seems like Geras really is a solid dude, and I kind of like them setting up Mr. Frankenstein as the Keeper of Time. I kind of do like this a lot. Dark Geras would be interesting. We already saw it in the last game, but man, I never thought that having Geras come back in another game would make me love him more, per se. But let me just say, Mortal Kombat 11 Geras didn't really care too much for at all. Just looked at him as like a lackey for Kronika. But him in this game, and seeing this and everything we saw in the campaign for this game, I really have come around, and I actually really do like Geras a lot. So another reason I like Geras, dude, he's awesome. Johnny Cage.
Since this whole thing kicked off, I'd wondered why Liu Kang chose me to be a champion. I mean, sure, I was killing it as a martial arts star, but it's one thing when it's all for show. It's different when you're playing for keeps. Then Liu Kang let me in on his master plan.
Okay.
He wanted the masses to know about the world beyond them, the one filled with gods and monsters, and he wanted me to tell them about it.
So a movie.
But I knew revealing the truth all at once would be too shocking of a plot twist for most. That's why I pitched doing a bunch of stories, to slowly get people used to it. And if there's one thing I can do, Besides kick ass in combat, it's built a cinematic universe. I'm serving up movies, streaming series, games, you name it. I like that I'm doing a public service, and it doesn't hurt that I'm making more than a few bucks. It's the kind of synergy that would make any studio mogul proud.
They literally just turn him into WB. He becomes WB so he can explain to the world that indeed Mortal Kombat's real. Like, bro, Johnny is a douchebag. Kung Lao.
It was inevitable that the Shaolin Masters had me join them. They knew just how much future initiates could learn from me. Shujinko was one of my earliest. His ability to absorb anyone's powers and skills was amazing. With the right training,
Let's go.
he could become our greatest champion.
Let's go.
I knew that I alone could give it to him. But as his proficiency grew, so did his ego.
Whoa.
In love with himself and his power, Shujinko became a threat to the realms. He hadn't learned humility, because I wasn't the one who could teach it. I should have listened to Raiden's warning and not tried to train Shujinko alone. After he was subdued, Shujinko's accumulated abilities and memories were taken from him. He is once again a new initiate, ready to begin his training. This time, Raiden and I train Shujinko together. He will become the champion he is destined to be. And I will fulfill my duties, humbly and cooperatively.
I don't trust Shujinko. Holy shit. So this just sets us up for the next game for Shujinko to potentially be somebody who turns on the good guys because he already has seen the power and he had it taken away by them. And he might feel insulted by this. Liu Kang was the one who took his powers away. And he's already seen that if he gets his powers back, there's nothing they can do to stop him other than teach him how to be humble. And he could have that in his back pocket. Shujinko deceiving everybody would be the most fucking wholesome thing ever. I say wholesome, but like full circle moment because again, he's the reason for the Dragon King's existence in the previous timeline. So I can definitely see where like Shujinko is a villain and takes on that role. It would probably make him a lot more interesting than just being a good guy, Liu Kang 2.0 based character. You guys know Ed Boon was quoted saying that Shujinko is meant to be like the Liu Kang of last, that era, the 3D era, the Liu Kang of 3D era. And, nah, he might be better off as a villain. So, dude, maybe Shang Tsung dies and we just fill in that void with fucking Shujinko. It could happen. That is crazy, though. One hell of an ending.
As her reign began, Empress Mileena faced many challenges. To meet them, she turned to the people she trusted. Her sister to lead her army, and me to lead her imperial police. Though I missed Empress Sindel dearly, I was glad my ties with her family had been mended.
Me too.
But while it was an honor to be made responsible for Outworld's internal security, I soon realized accepting the appointment was a mistake. I'm not cut out to be a bureaucrat, nor am I patient enough to navigate the Imperial Court's politics.
Same.
I was at my best patrolling Sundo's streets, when I could feel the city's pulse and serve and protect its citizens directly.
She wants to be a cop forever.
That's why I resigned my post and resumed my role as Sundo's first constable. I end each day knowing I've made a difference.
Yay! She's a narc. There you go. She tried to be more than what she could be. Didn't feel right. Back to being a cop! Kenshi!
I wasn't looking for allies against the Yakuza, but I found one in Special Agent Jackson.
Woo! Baby, let's go!
Gangsters plotting to kill me on a wiretap and came calling, hoping I'd be his informant.
Let's go.
We planned to part ways when we got the job done. But then, Shang Tsung showed up to steal Sento. Needless to say, Jackson had questions. It blew his mind to hear that the stories in Johnny's movies were real.
Once the shock wore off, Jackson quickly sized up the threats Earthrealm faced. To deal with them, he got his bosses at the FBI to form the Outworld Investigation Agency. When he asked me to sign on, I hesitated. After all, me? A government agent? But it's an important job. And more importantly to me, an honest living.
Dude, so no more special forces. Instead, we get FBI Jax. Bro, what are they doing? They're making so many drastic changes. I'm cool with it because I always thought there was way too much special forces. I will say this. I'm glad to know that Jax is not part of the army, the special forces. Instead, he's an undercover FBI agent. That is awesome. And to know that he's alongside his homie, Kenshi, not Sonya and Johnny. I like the changes they're making here. I think this is probably good for the character. I'm curious, Jax fans out there, are you cool with this? Because if Jax gets introduced on the main roster in the next game as an FBI agent, I think that's cool. I think that's fucking sick. I'd rather have him be an FBI agent than just be rehashed as the same old military guys we've seen for the last fucking 30 years. So big thumbs up for me, dude. I like the change a lot. Baraka.
While the regime had changed, little else had. My people still suffered in silence, ignored by the rest of Outworld.
What the fuck?
Though now I knew Empress Mileena's secret, that she was also afflicted with Tarkat. If anyone would help, it would be her.
Facts.
But how to get an audience? Saibot. He was the Empress's new emissary to the Zaterrans. I asked him to introduce us. At great personal risk, he agreed. And as I'd prayed, the Empress was willing to meet.
Oh, wow.
Even better, she would visit the colony.
Wow.
She was shocked to see how we lived. She moved quickly to provide for our care and comfort.
Hell yeah, man.
Thanks to the Empress and Saibot, we Tarkatans are no longer pariahs. Until our disease can be cured, that will do.
Wow. That is probably one of the most wholesome endings we've seen so far in MK1. We got Li Mei, we got Mileena, and they're just bringing fruit to the Tarkatans, man. And to know that Reptile was responsible for helping the Tarkatans, I'm telling you, I love the whole dynamic we saw between Baraka and Saibot, Reptile, dude. And to see that carried over to the ending, it almost makes me want to fucking cry, bro. Because, like, they get it. They're not normal people. Homeboy's called himself a pariah. I feel like a pariah. You know, I'm the pariah of the Mortal Kombat community. So, dude, I love this so much. That was wholesome. Fuck yeah. Geras.
Though the barriers between timelines had been rebuilt, there was no question that they could again be broken.
Jax up top.
Protecting this timeline would require eternal vigilance, so that it could not fall victim to further outside aggression. But nothing in my countless lifetimes had prepared me for this task. In none of them had multiple timelines ever coexisted.
Damn.
Monitoring them for threats was an entirely novel problem. It would require a
Which is what,
novel
Geras? What's the
solution.
novel solution?
I discovered that though the timelines no longer touched, their meeting had left them intertwined.
So they're all
I can now secretly surveil all timelines, keeping watch for potential danger. It pleases me to do this service for the new era. Lord Liu Kang may rest assured that it is secure.
So just like we saw Liu Kang mention how he needed somebody to do this once he's dead and gone, Geras is already currently doing it. I wasn't sure if we were going to wait until Liu Kang dies for Geras to take this role, but no, he's currently making sure that every timeline does not and have shit hit the fan. And dude, that is awesome. Geras being this important to the Mortal Kombat story is sick to see. Again, you take a character that was seemingly just a lackey for Kronika and to make them essentially the keeper of space and time under Liu. Dude, big thumbs up. Ashra!
I couldn't believe that Liu Kang welcomed me in Earthrealm.
Wow.
Or that he thought me worthy to study with his Shaolin masters.
That's awesome, dude. She's gonna be a monk.
After a lifetime of wishing for one, I finally had a home. But my joy was tempered as I thought about Serena. My shadow sister was still under Quan Chi's yoke, and she deserved a life
she's confirmed
free
the
of him
shadow
as
sister,
much,
then.
if not more, than I. Quan Chi and my other sisters proved tenacious, but they were no match for my blade. I snatched Serena from them. Then Liu Kang helped me break Quan Chi's spell.
She's good then.
Her mind free of his influence for the first time in years. Serena chose to join me.
Wonder who she falls in love with in this timeline.
My sister and I once again fight side by side. Only now we do so for Earthrealm. Together, we have formed the Order of Light.
Wow, so we have an Order of Light, and Serena and Ashra are leading the cause. Yo, I hope Serena's a main fighter in the next game. Man, that's awesome. I like this so much. I like all this fucking stuff we're seeing, dude. This is great. Nitara. Oh god,
Quan Chi's plot collapsed. Along with it, my plan to secure new beings to feed my starving people. Because I'd advocated for partnering with him, I was held responsible. If I didn't seize for Viternus' new feeding grounds, the Coven would banish me. But then, I had a revelation. I didn't need to conquer realms to feed my people. I simply needed to capture enough beings to breed them. Once they multiply, Viternus will have a limitless, renewable source of food. And I only need a few thousand to start. A number so small
Worldwide meats.
compared to the billions in the realms that no one will notice as people go missing. But it will be more than enough to establish our breeding stock and feed a ravenous Viternus.
Is that really it? So she just goes plucking people from timelines, excuse me, from realms. She just captures these humans and just drops them off in Viternus, and they just get eaten by these vampires. I will say, seeing Viternus for the first time is sick. I'm liking the Gothic architecture. This is sick. Confirmation that indeed Gothic buildings exist in Viternus, right? Which is why I wanted her to be more goth-oriented, but I was being crucified for asking for her being more goth-oriented. Lastly, it's Havoc. We've already seen this one.
Cost me everything. For months I had furthered his plot, and now I had to start over. Saido's people were still in chains. That's when Rain approached me. On the run from Empress Mileena, he was desperate for help. And though I'd had my fill of sorcerers, this one was different. I agreed to provide him safe haven. He agreed to help topple Saido's government. And topple it we did. Rain summoned a wave so fast, so powerful, that it crushed the capital. Saido's fascist rulers were swept away. My people are finally free. They can chart their own course, needing only to follow their own desires. Their lives are now blessed by anarchy.
Boom! And there you go. That's every ending in Mortal Kombat 1 in terms of the arcade ladder endings, which we now know are canon. I think the biggest one is this right here. The fact that we know General Shao and Reiko are going to bring back a domesticated Dragon King to take on Liu Kang and win Outworld back is fucking nuts. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my reactions to all of this. I'm pretty excited for the next Mortal Kombat game. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and of course, let me know in the comment section down below, what did you enjoy the most of all these endings? Love you guys. Thank you for always coming back and watching. Till next time, been your host, been Dynasty. You guys, please take care, stay safe. So much to unpack. So much to be excited about. Mortal Kombat, dare I say, is in good hands. I kind of like the direction we're going with this. I kind of do. Given the Armageddon-style ending, I still think there's a lot to love in terms of these endings. So, love you guys. See you in the next video. Peace.
On it crack, but I'm not super still.